it was around the 7-minute, 8 mark, that timeout when Vandy kind of got it close, and then it felt like your guys kind of regrouped and pulled away. Just what was the message in that, and what did you see coming out of that timeout?
Yeah, I think in that segment, our shot selection, we're not going to turn down open threes when our best shooters have them, but I think there's a responsibility to go rebound and miss from time to time. And obviously today was a positive for us to out-rebound the opponent. And we did it by committee, right? When Matt and Brandon have 5 or 6 defensive rebounds, it's good for our team. It's also really good for our offense. It's almost always a transition opportunity when one of our guards gets a defensive rebound. I thought the guys were dialed in today on rebounding, among other things.
I know you haven't watched this film yet, but just from watching this game and film from Wednesday, what's been your takeaways from these two different kind of style of wins coming off the last Saturday?
Yeah, my mind's pretty much always on the game. I can't even really remember who we played last, but I know today we had an offensive game plan to try to have some balance, and we got 4 guys to double figures with another guy at 9. And so if we can get 5 guys in double figure scoring, it's always good for us the way we like to play. I thought it was a low turnover second half. We really responded. We had some self-inflicted mistakes in the first half turnover-wise. That's going to happen. It's not a perfect game as much as we strive for that. But in the second half, to take care of the ball, I think we only had 2 or 3 turnovers in the second half. That's good for our offense. And then again, defensively today, I liked our team defense from where I was sitting. We had 5 guys in a stance. And again, defending maybe one of the most difficult offenses to defend in the SEC because of their movement and their screening and their cutting. And then obviously their point guard's a dynamic player. He's very, very fast, and he's speed on speed. And I thought our guys did a good job containing him the best we could.
Today's victory marks 10 consecutive home wins. What does it say about what you're building here in Oxford to kind of get the fans more engaged in Ole Miss basketball?
Yeah, I think give credit all of the players. If you're going to do the things we'd like to do, to be one of those teams that, in the tournament has a chance to win 6 games in 3 weekends, then you got to have some streaks throughout the season. And, so if the ultimate goal is to win 6 in a row, you got to do it a few times during the year to prove to yourself you can do that. So, and then, program-wise, I just think a lot's gone into this. We have a home court advantage in Oxford now. And it's got to continue to get better, and it will. But the main message is thank you for all the people that are, jumping on board early, not just today, but from the season opener to the throwback game to some games during the break. We've had great attendance, and it's only going to get better.
Chris, before the games today, this was the best three-point shooting team in the SEC, percentage-wise. Is that an outcome that you first foresaw when you built this roster? Has that surprised you, your success there so far?
Yeah, in terms of all the stats and stuff, I think it's too early. Like my personal philosophy is you go through the first half of the 18-round fight, you kind of see where you're at, and when you make that turn, there'll be some teams that have a chance to compete for a championship. There'll be other teams that are trying to get, back in the fight. So for us, all the statistical stuff, don't spend much time. I would say, I think I said that a couple times earlier in the season when we had some off nights and people were even asking questions about our shooting. We have good shooters. I think, to be a quality team, you got to have 4 or 5 guys that are 40% three-point shooters. And, different guys have different shot selections, but there's no doubt about it. We need that. I agree with Matt. Our guys put in a lot of work. We're committed to that among many other things. When guys get in the gym, our green light shooters. Then we got that next tier three-point shooter that we have a lot of confidence. Every guy's got a little bit different role in shot selection. But no, three-point shot's a weapon for us. We got good shooters that put in a lot of time.
Could you explain the 300 club thing he was talking about?
Yeah, it's just one of many things. I've always thought that, we're sitting there on the bench and we got 5 guys out there representing the whole organization, and we're trying to get a good shot. The first thing is we don't want to give it to the other team. Then we want to get a good shot. And a good shot, is the right player taking the right shot. So certainly guys that have the green light to pull from 3. For us, we expect, them to do their part of the deal. There's responsibility. You just can't go out there because I think you're a good shooter, or you think you're a good shooter, or your your mom thinks you're a good shooter. It's, the proof's in the stat sheet, and not just the game stat sheet. We stat every individual workout. We stat the 300 club. We stat the quality 100. This goes all the way back to the summer. So, guys are striving for that, and that's not selfish to chase stats in team sports. We don't ever talk about points per game because that comes and goes. But we do talk a lot about percentages and assist to turnover ratio and rebounds and steals. And, when you get competitive players chasing those individual things, that's team sport. That's not selfish. So it should be a fight to see who can get the most rebounds. It should be a fight to see who can get the best assist screens, steals. And so, and we have a competitive locker room. We have some veteran players that it's important to them. Nobody wants to win more than we do. And I haven't always been able to say that about every team we've coached, but these guys are internally competitive, and we have a vision for the program, and we have a plan to get there. We're only 3 rounds into this 18-round fight, so we got a lot of work to do. But I like where our guys' hearts are. These guys care, and they really do.
Coach, you're to be commended on your success and the job you've done here. When you look back and you think about what you've put together here, was it difficult in getting the players to buy into the culture that you established?
Good to see you, Jesse. Love you, man. All that starts in recruiting. You kind of recruit the guy that you want to coach. That's why I've always had the utmost respect for high school coaches, because for the most part, those guys can't control who they coach. We can. We go out and recruit the players on our team. So we start with that. Will this guy be bought into what we're trying to do? Will he understand our expectations? Will he understand how we hold guys accountable? So for us, it starts in the recruiting process, trying to get the right guys that we think want to play team basketball, that we think want to win, want to be a part of something special. Then once you get the guys here, as well as I do, a lot goes into team chemistry and stuff. And these guys have really fought to become a team. And we got a long ways to go. We're just getting started here in SEC play. But these guys, they care about each other. And we do have a culture that's developing. I don't know if it's completely built yet. We're working on it on a daily basis. But the players are bought into what we're trying to get done. And I'd say the same thing, when the scoreboard isn't in our favor, even in some of our disappointing moments, we were connected. It might not have looked like that at Tennessee, but, we didn't beat ourselves that night. We just, we got beat by a better opponent in that 40-minute game.
Chris, when you have a guy like Matt go for 18 in the first half, how did you feel like that kind of opened up opportunities in the second half for other guys? Maybe they were focusing on him at all?
Yeah, absolutely. And veterans like Matt understand that too. Scoring comes, when you're on a good team, scoring comes in bunches, and it's important to let the game come to you. And I thought Matt did exactly that. Took great shots from where I was sitting all game long. And there's no question we got some open looks in the second half because of Matt being on the floor, whether it be a pick and roll or spacing or things like that. So Matt's an unselfish player. He really is. That dude's about one thing, winning. And for us to win, he's got to score the ball, and he obviously did that today.
And then coming off of that Tennessee game, now having these 2 performances, just how impressed are you that these guys were able to flush that and then come out firing these last 2 games?
Yeah, responding is a big part of a team sport. It's not going to be, rainbows and, popsicles every day. I've been thinking about popsicles. I was at Rascal's convenience store the other night and you guys ever had the Twix ice cream bar?
It's too cold for that right now.
Man, no, it's not. Try the Twix ice cream bar. I'm telling you. And I'm not even a Twix guy. That's not my candy bar of choice. But they got something going on with their ice cream bar. It's incredible. But no, every day is not going to be Twix ice cream bars. So yeah, the ability to respond, and not just from game to game, from practice drill to practice drill, from possession to possession. And these guys have shown the ability to respond. And that's a good trait, of hopefully a team that can do some things here in the last few months of the season.
Chris, for all the scoring you guys have done in the first half of this game and the Florida game, where you guys kind of run cold in the second and still find a way to close out Vanderbilt by, 13 points. What do you learn about your team from that?
Yeah, there was some maturity there, no doubt. I thought we were taking good shots for the most part. You know, I'd like to be able to get some more offensive rebounds when we go in those segments of getting good shots, but not just making them. And then I thought defensively, we did have some maturity to us. You know, when that thing got to 10 a couple times and you feel kind of the pressure, I thought the guys were dialed in. There wasn't any panic from where I was sitting. And then we were able to string some stops together. You know, for us, if we get 3 consecutive stops in a game, we call that a kill. We're always trying to get about 7 kills a game. And we actually did get a couple kills in the second half when our offense wasn't helping us much.
More questions for Coach?
Yeah, I don't want to imply anything here, but the portal, there are some coaches that love it, there are some coaches that hate it. It's obvious that you love it. Would you talk a little bit about portals in the future?
Yeah, what I love above all is good players, and you know, period. And so, good players come in different ways, and it's always been like that. You know, our teams have always had a balance of younger guys, older guys, international guys, local guys, and so in today's college basketball, you know, the portal is reality. You know, you could either embrace it or run from it, and we certainly have. And you know, it's not just about the guys that we're fortunate enough to get. We've got some good players around the country that are playing at other schools right now, and we pull for those guys too. So, you know, each player makes an individual decision, and but we pull for all players, not just the ones we get. From time to time, we see a player make a decision they think's best for them. But no, it's all about recruiting. You know, like in whatever way we have to find them, wherever we have to go. You know, we're trying to get players here that can compete for SEC championships. And this first year's team, you know, we got good players. I said that at the very first press conference we have. There'll be no asterisks next to this first year's team. You know, we're proud of the talent we have. We feel like we can compete against anybody.